Welcome back to the Umuco podcast YouTube channel with Alex and Dydine.
Dydine and Alex.
Yes.
Alex and Dydine.
Both of us. You may be asking, wait a second.
Yeah.
Are you wearing the same clothes as you were in the last episode? Well, that's very curious.
They probably didn't even notice.
Oh, I'm sure they noticed. They noticed now.
Yes.
But anyway, we talked about in our last video how we're introducing this series, talking about fear. We're going to be talking a lot about fear throughout this year of 2022. Everybody feels fear. Everybody has their own sort of coping mechanisms when dealing with fearful situations.
Yeah. Or getting stuck in fear and not ever get anything done. And specifically for today, we are thinking about starting with fear of success.
Fear of success.
Yes.
That's a big one.
When was the first time you heard that sentence, and how did it hit?
Okay. All right. So I got stories.
Yes, please.
In college.
Yes.
I would say 2015, probably.
Yeah, you're so old.
And I was going to say, I'm so young. Everybody's like, oh my God, he graduated. Whatever.
Yes.
Fear of success. So I was in acting classes, like, I'm an actor. And it was one of my first acting classes. In my professor, who I considered as a mentor, his name is Dean Nolan. I think professionally he's known as Ronald Dean Nolan, might be his real name. Yeah. But anyway, me and him, I was really close to him, and I think the world of him. So he gave me some advice, sort of directing me in my career, career trajectory. He was just talking to me about like how I can grow as an actor and as a person along with my growth as an actor. And he told me during one of our meetings that you have a fear of success. And that was the first time I've heard of a fear of success, because I've heard about fear of failure.
Yes.
I've heard all about fear of failure. That makes sense to me.
It makes sense, yeah.
But he said that you have a fear of success. And I don't remember him like elaborating too deeply as to what that meant.
Did you ask him?
I may have, but I remember stepping away from that conversation not understanding what that meant. He may have elaborated, but I was like, I don't know what that means. And so it stuck with me, not only because he told me, like, I trusted his opinion, but I was like, that's very curious, because like, why would I be afraid of succeeding?
Yeah.
Over the years since then, I guess it's been 7 years since 2015?
Yes, yeah.
And it started to really click. I was like, okay, so fear of success for me, it meant that I'm terrified of doing what is necessary to be successful. And through those actions that, achieving my goals, my whole life, or like the habits that I've built up, my own identity might shift a little bit. Yeah. And I was clinging on to these things that weren't necessarily for me anymore. These sort of things that I just kept on doing that would keep me from getting to where I said I wanted to get to.
Yes.
So like for acting, I wanted to do so much stuff. I wanted to be in Star Wars. I want to do all this stuff. I still do. Yeah. But there were so many things that like kept me from stepping into that zone. And I was so terrified of the change. I was so terrified of being great.
Yeah.
Because I was
the responsibility with it.
But it was the responsibility, but there's so much like inherent to who I was, and I didn't even realize it. Yeah. I think that's what took me so long to understand it, because there were so many things that were just second nature that I was doing habitually that I didn't even realize. Yeah, no, it's very profound just thinking about like how we sort of get in our own way and how you would tell yourself that you're not afraid of failure, but your actions, your everyday habits would say otherwise.
Would say otherwise. Absolutely.
So yeah, that's my story and with the fear of success.
Yeah. I don't know if everyone has had a fear of success, because sometimes you can have a fear of failure. That's what I'm more used to. Like, that's what I knew. Like, oh my God, I'm so scared of failing at this, whatever. But also not putting in the effort to what it takes to actually not fail or that thing, or even being scared of starting something or doing anything because I don't want to fail. I don't want the shame that comes with it.
No, that's a big one as well. Like, nobody wants to feel shame or
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Yeah, so I think the fear of success, I remember the first time when I was getting into public speaking. So for my first speech, I remember being so scared of just imagining the audience. It was like 700 people. I'm going to speak to them and I don't speak the English well. It was a lot of the things I was just playing into this small moment, 7 minutes that I was going to be doing that speech, but I was like, I can't do this. I can't.
It's scary.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm giving up.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody telling me, just being scared, it doesn't mean that you can't do something. It actually means that you care.
Yep.
And I think that switch really helped a lot. Even though, of course, I didn't like succeed. I did okay, but I'm glad I went and do it.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would have been terrified of doing it and never do it in my...
You may still be in the same spot as you were.
I may have been.
Had you not taken that step.
Yes.
Probably not, but...
Probably.
There's a chance.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
But this fear of success is real.
It is very real.
Yes.
I think it may be one of the most, it's debatable, but one of the most potent fears.
Yes.
That we experience, but one of the most misunderstood.
Yeah.
Fears
especially
that, it's hard to sort of grapple.
As we're saying this, especially when the fear of success comes from other people being scared of your success and they're bringing that energy into your life.
Yeah.
So that also is a really big thing. As we're saying this, sometimes you bring up, you have all these big dreams, and when you share it with somebody who already have fear of success, it can easily affect the way you're responding to your own dreams.
Yes. Right.
So it's like something, I guess, like it's a connection, like, I don't know, it's a connection to so many things that you can be scared, not because you started off scared, but because of other energies coming from different people can also kind of suppress,
impact. Yeah. So some of the bigger things that fear of success can sort of bring upon, I said symptoms, right? Symptoms of fear of success is anxiety, which we talked about, right?
Yes.
Tons of anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Like I mentioned, the change of identity and imposter syndrome. That's a big one that I don't really relate
syndrome,
to.
I don't really understand it. Maybe it's my English, but can you elaborate on the imposter, what it means to be?
So imposter syndrome is like if you find yourself in a situation that, it might be a coveted position. I don't know, if you got a promotion to manager. Yes. And now you are overseeing all your former associates, whatever. Yeah. And you may not feel like you've earned that spot. Like it's a spot that everybody's like, oh, I want that so badly. And now you're there, but then now you have this responsibility. And it's like, I don't feel like I've earned this. I feel like people are gonna look straight through me and see me for the fraud that I am. Like I shouldn't be in this position. Yeah. So that's what imposter syndrome.
Oh, that's when fake it until you make it helps.
Yeah,
helps out.
It can help out, but it's sort of shame
helped me.
And not trusting. Yeah, I'm sure it did. It helps a lot of people. But it's imposter syndrome is like the shame of being there because you feel like you're gonna
lose it,
or you just feel like you haven't earned it.
You haven't earned it. Yeah. And it can go on it. You can, if you haven't earned it, you may lose it any time. So I think it comes with a lot of anxiety. That would give me so much anxiety.
Give me a ton of anxiety.
And then feeling shy.
So that's something for me. That's what I felt. That's what it really boiled down to. Because and we talked about it in other videos. I'm the youngest sibling. And I'm naturally a shy guy. Like I was really shy growing up. And I just defaulted to playing small. Oh, does that make sense?
Yes.
Like in any opportunity that I could have maybe gone out of my shell, A lot of times, not every time, but
Yeah.
a lot of times I would be like, nah, I'm gonna take a back seat. Especially if I were in the presence of someone who is a little bit more boisterous, a little bit more gregarious, a little bit more outgoing. I'd be like, I'm gonna let them have the spotlight and I'm gonna take a back seat and just sort of play small, like a small little mouse.
That's yeah.
That's kind of how I felt, which is
Yeah.
strange because I'm 6'3" and very bigger than
almost
a lot of other
6'4" almost.
in certain shoes, you know. It depends. Like if I'm playing basketball, if I tell somebody, I'm like, I'm 6'3", I'm 6'4". But if I'm like, talking to like actors,
Yes.
I'm like, I'm about 6'2". It just changes.
Oh, it depends because
Depends
of what
on the
the
situation.
criteria of the situations.
Right, exactly. That's a little secret, little trade secret there.
I like
Nobody
that.
knows my true height. No, but it playing small like that. The fear of success doesn't allow you like going after what you want and
Yes.
being there and feel like you earn it. You have no room to play small anymore, and that's why it's so terrifying. Because if you don't even realize that you've been playing small all your life, and now you're asked to play big and play up to your potential. Not even playing big; it's just being yourself. That's the biggest thing is now you are called upon to be yourself. And that's scary. That's really scary for the untrained.
You feel the best when you're not trying to be somebody else.
Yes. But it can be very challenging to get to that point in your head where you're like, oh, okay, I can just...
Especially when you have so much to offer.
You do have, man, see, these are lessons that I think anybody really needs to understand. But, whatever.
I wonder how you guys feel about fear of success. What the stories have you, learned or heard or your own personal experiences, so we can all learn from each other and how we can impact one another and uplift one another.
Because the best thing about fear
Yes.
is that everybody feels it from all corners of the world. So it's not exclusive to one part. You can ask somebody in Australia about how they fear those gigantic spiders and snakes over there.
I know.
And then somebody can ask me, a boy from Texas, like, oh, how do you feel about those tornadoes? I'm like, I'm terrified about those tornadoes. I hate them. So you have stuff to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us how you get yourself out of it.
Yes.
This is something we all need to learn. Your tricks. How do you trick your mind to get out of that fear of success?
Leave all your tips and tricks in the comments below as you subscribe and hit that notification.
Oh, I like it.
And, hit the like button,
Support
share,
us.
support us.
Get us to 1,000 followers this year,
sweet.
okay? Isn't it much to ask?
Not a tall ask at all. I don't think.
No. It's like nothing,
Not at all.
right?
No. And we are also on Patreon. So if you want to head on over to Patreon or become our patron, you can do that as well.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Talking more about fear and life.
Fear of change, fear of unknown, fear of a lot of things.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.